Hello and welcome to my review of the entire Adeptus Sororitas or Sisters of Battle second wave, their reinforcements. Now the majority of these brand new models were released in the middle of June of 2021. I have included a couple of miniatures that were released almost a year ago, about 11 months, and that was Ephrael Stern and Tariana Palos or Palos. Ephrael Stern was actually released in July, so over a year ago. The time has flown by, but I thought I'd add them into this review of the second wave because technically they weren't included in the first wave, which included the army set and Junith Aruta and the Exorcist and the Immolator and the Seraphim, basically all of the main bulk of the Sisters of Battle units. This wave was a little bit different. You know, we had a couple of new characters last year, Ephrael Stern and Kigagnol, right here. There they are. I've sprayed them and I've started painting them, but they are the models. Tariana is nice. Amalia Novena is better. She's still the best detailed Sisters miniature in my opinion, but I've included them in this breakdown. Out of interest, if you wanted to know the total cost of the miniatures that you see there, including that codex, all of those would set you back around about £360, which is a huge amount of money. Let's face it, for 25 models, it's a big chunk of money for not many models. Albeit there's a lot of characters in there, and I say larger models, but I just thought that was an important point to make. It's an odd release. Overall, I'm happy with this second wave. The standout models for me are the Sacrosancts and the Castigator tank. Notable mentions is the Palatine and Astrid. Tariana's alright, and Ephrael Stern is a bit of an odd one because she's kind of leaping off of the rockwork or just landing. It's odd, it raises a few questions. The Paragon War suits unfortunately don't have any good poses. And Morven Val is, I think the lore sways people with her or not. The fact that she's a High Lord and she's out on the field is very odd and unheard of, and that she's just kind of come from nowhere and she's like the main, and yet she was handpicked by Gulliman and things. We just didn't see that coming. The main models that I really like are the Castigator and the Sacrosancts. I think Dolan is alright, that comes with Astrid. Astrid has a lovely banner. Tariana is a nice example of a sister in motion. Ephrael Stern and Kigagnol are, you either love them or hate them. The Dogmata, I'm really not keen on. The Palatine is good, and then Morven Val and the Paragon War are a bit odd. But overall, I think it was a good release. The majority of the models are pretty good, and it raises the questions like how many more HQ units or elite choices can Sisters get? I guess they are missing a flyer. That is a big thing here that they don't have access to. Their only transports is the Rhino and the Immolator. I would like to see some kind of heavier transport, maybe not like a Land Raider, but Forge World used to do I think it was a Redeemer, which was a bigger transport with a big dozer blade and heavy bolters on the front, and that looked immense and Sisters could fire out the side of it. That would be nice to bring back, and also some kind of flyer with angelic wings or something. That would be cool. But I think they've run aground in terms of their heavy support and their elite choices, and to some extent their HQs. I can't see what more that they could bring to the army other than those units that I've mentioned. Other than some really strange choices of face sculpts and poses, I think, again, looking at the whole range of Sisters of Battle, they've done a very good job. Yes, it is pricey, and the army isn't as strong as maybe you'd hope them to be, but they certainly look the part for these religious zealots. I guess I'd like to see more kind of preacher and priest models, and maybe like a sub-faction of, armed ecclesiarchy. Some faith goers that have utter devotion and faith to the Emperor. Kind of like a mini cult, the things that he was trying to avoid. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with this. Did they really need a second wave? Not really. I think they were all right as they were, but Games Workshop do this. They did it with Adeptus Mechanicus, and they did it with Adeptus Mechanicus, and they usually do this with the new armies, like they've done it with Lumineth as well. I want to point that out. Would it have been a better choice maybe to invest in Xenos? Well, we've finally got the new Orcs coming out very, very soon in September. I know they could have waited another month for October, but there we go. Finally got the Orcs coming out. Hopefully we'll get some Tyranids and Eldar at some point. And there are still a load of models that need refreshing for Chaos. And of course, let's not forget Tau and their rules at the moment. But I'm going to put the question out there. What do you guys think of this second wave of Sisters? And which is your favourite model out of all of them that I've reviewed? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below as always. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.